I don't have my fan. It is a cat coaster. I looked when the intro was playing. I was like, I have nothing around me that could be used as a fan. So I'm using a coaster because I'm not home currently. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Everything's fine. We're just gonna go with it.
We're just gonna exist in this today. But anyway,
Absolutely.
hi, hello, hi. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. I may not have a fan, but I have 3 different drinks. Well, okay, you know that thing with the neurospicy people, Lana, where it's like 1 drink to hydrate, 1 drink to caffeinate, and 1 just for fun. So that's really what I'm doing today. So I have water, of course, because hydration is of the essence of Hall. I have some citrus punch, caffeinated brew, I guess it's kind of what you should call it, to caffeinate myself. And just for a little bit of fun, I have a little tiny Coke Zero. She's so mini and tiny, and I love her. But yes, that's where I'm at today, and I'm sticking to it. And because David's not here, I also have a cute shirt. Because this is the first thing I pulled out, so we're gonna shout out to Boom Thuring once again. Because I need to. Well, it's not my thing to buy the drag queen shirts, but I do need a couple more. So I've got DragCon on the horizon, so I'm excited to buy more shirts there. So.
Well, hi everybody. I am Lana, your resident Evil Diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to hit me up. I am just drinking some water because hydration is important. Drink water for clear skin, period. But I don't have 3 drinks like Logan because I didn't grab. I literally grabbed his water right before we started, so I couldn't go grab 3 drinks. That's crazy for me. But I do have something Logan does not have today, which is my cup mug.
Cup mug. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not going to shade Logan because Logan is not home. Because sometimes
I'm not home right now.
we don't usually travel with the cup mugs. It's just not something you do on a regular basis. So I get it. I understand.
No.
I got your back, Logan. I got your back.
Thank you. Thank
you. If you are without a cup mug, I'm gonna shade you. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna say, get you one or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the United States and in Canada and Mexico. And we do ship internationally again, so there are no excuses here. And if you haven't checked out our Etsy shop in a while, you might want to go do that because there's some new things in the shop that you haven't seen before.
I definitely need to go get some more cup stuff because
me too, actually.
I'm still hoping and praying at some point we get the cup fanny pack. That's kind of my my hopes and dreams currently, Lana. But
I'll let you know when that happens, if that can happen.
Thank you.
I know we can do a cup mug phone case.
No, that'd be cute.
I do know that, but we'll check about the paper.
But we are here. It is episode 3 of All Stars 9. Thankfully, it is a week with only 1 episode of Drag Race.
Yay!
This is the last time we'll be able to say that for a minute, Lana. But remember, France premieres next week. We're very excited about France.
We are, but it's really just 2 different franchises, not 2 episodes.
Oh yeah,
franchise team.
Oh yeah, no. This is the last week for a minute where we only have one Drag Race episode. But next week, France starts. We've got Mexico starting in a couple of weeks. And speaking of both of those franchises, go check out our cast assessments for both of those gorgeous, lovely franchises available on our channel. It's the only other videos we've put out recently other than All Stars videos and the finale of So the Last Mess. So it'll be very easy for you to find on the channel. But we are here. It is episode 3 of All Stars 9, and it's Snatch Game of Love. I have to say, I think this episode overall was very entertaining. I enjoyed it. We got a little bit of drama. We got a little bit of stuff happening. And we're going to talk all about that. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And make sure to check out the description below for all of our other YouTube channel links, our audio podcast links, unless you are listening to the audio. And in that case, thank you. Check out all of our YouTube, our audio podcast links, and our membership channel links down there as well. So we start this episode. We come back from Gottmik winning the lip sync to, at that time, I thought one of the craziest lip syncs we'd seen in a minute. That was soon usurped by this week, which we will talk about. And Angeria has been cut off for the week. And I have to say, Lana, 2 weeks in a row of great cutoff choices by these queens.
Yeah.
I'm like, both of these queens have made a very good decision on who to cut off.
Yeah. I was like, oh, makes sense. Makes sense. And yeah, I agree with the choices that were made, and I understood the reason why they were made. And when you saw what was coming up the pipeline, I was like, ooh, very good decision. Very good decision. Because although, well, we'll talk about it later, somebody had a plan that they said they would have done that should have been done.
I want to talk about. I think this is the moment you're talking where Georges is once again like, well, I would have blocked Nina.
Absolutely.
I love it. Really, honestly, Mick should have blocked Nina.
Should've.
I get why she blocked Angie, because Angie already has a badge. I get it. I understand it. She really should have blocked Nina. Yeah. I love this now, like, I guess rivalry that's brewing between, of all people, Georges and Nina. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, it's so cute. I just love that Georges is like, well, I know that this bitch does everything I don't know how to do well, so God forbid Georges win a lip sync. Nina, you better be in the top with her, girl.
You better, because
but like, what challenge do you think would end up with a Georges and Nina West top 2? Because I honestly couldn't tell you.
I don't know. Because like I said, this is me just watching Georges and Nina for the first time. And so I don't know their skill sets, but from what I've saw thus far, I was like, oh, Nina's going to be somebody who is going to eat up acting comedy challenges. Like,
oh, yeah.
And Georges is going to be somebody who's going to eat up music, dance, and
everything else.
And things like that. So I'm like,
yeah. They're like oil and water in that way. They're like oil and water, where it's like their skills are very, very separate. Mm-hmm. I think the only challenge I could see both of them potentially doing well in at some point is like a branding challenge, because they both do have very distinct brands, and so I think that could be something where we see that happen. But
I feel like that'd be so good, because I think that's where I think they both know who they are. Like you said, they both know their
Yeah.
brand. They both know what they do. And so Nina would come out and do something funny, comedy, acting type of thing for her brand. And Georgia would come out doing something music, did Hey Papi, something for her brand. And it would just work. It would just work for the both of them.
It'd be weed, poppers, and daddies. That's the Georges brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well.
But yeah, so we come back into the workroom the next day. They're doing their thing. They're, doing all their stuff. RuPaul walks in this gorgeous suit, but I was like, this looks very uncomfortable, Ru. like, I hope that suit was comfortable.
It didn't look so comfortable.
It didn't.
To be honest, it didn't look very comfortable, but it was gorgeous. I will say,
it was gorgeous.
With the silver, and it looked very, very cute. And I was like, okay, for once, I didn't feel like RuPaul looked so boxy. Because like usually when the suits come out, and he puts on the suits, it looks very boxy in the shoulders and looks very SpongeBob SquarePants for me. But
literally episode 2 with that red boxy whatever. Yes, yeah.
Absolutely. But I felt like this one fit. The shoulders wasn't so high up and he was just more relaxed and it looked good on him. I liked it. And I like the shoes. I like the shoes. So it worked for me.
Definitely. But this is where Ru announces that the Maxi Challenge is Snatch Game. Now, before we go to the next day in the workroom, I do want to bring up that before they even knew that this week was Snatch Game, Lana, we see a conversation very quickly. Because, I mean, these girls know the Drag Race formula at this point. And we'll talk about the Drag Race formula because I think they're shaking some things up with next week specifically. I'm very excited to see. And we'll talk about that at the end. But we see Nina and Chanel being like, oh, well, what do you think the next challenge is going to be? And they're like acting probably, I feel like it's too early for Snatch Game. Right. I'm like, I don't ever feel like it's too early for Snatch Game on an All-Stars because it usually comes earlier in the season. But then again, I'm literally rewatching All-Star 6 right now. And I think Snatch Game is episode 9.
Okay.
So, like, they do like to switch it up every once in a while. But so they start talking about Snatch Game. And Chanel's like, oh, well, who are you doing for Snatch Game? And they're alluding to the fact, or Nina is alluding to the fact that she brought Liberace.
Right.
And Chanel looks gooped, gagged, betriveled, and plucked in this moment because she's like, I also brought Liberace.
And they're like, no, tell me you're lying.
How did you not bring a backup? This is All Stars 9, girl. Right.
What do you mean?
Nina on her original season did 2 Snatch Game characters in 1 Snatch Game. Like, how are you? I was confused because I was just like, why? I love what we ended up getting. We'll talk about it. But
we'll talk about it, but yeah.
They're like, well, how are we going to do our dueling Liberaces? And then when they're going through who everyone is doing, I love the moment. I forget who it was that started it. But someone was like, so I'm also doing Liberace. And then everyone was like, no, but I'm doing Liberace.
I think it was Plastique was like,
it was Plastique.
Plastique was like, oh, well, this Snatch Game is going to be weird because I was going to do Liberace.
And then Nick is like, I was going to do Liberace.
And then Vanjie was like, well, I was going to do Liberace too. We all doing Liberace. It was
everyone's doing Liberace. Which funny. I was surprised that we had never seen Liberace on Snatch Game before.
Me too. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, nobody did.
Yeah, I mean, you would think he would have been done. And I mean, to be fair, doing male characters on Snatch Game is still a very new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them have been very, very successful. The one I think of immediately, I might have to send you this, Lana. It's Shea Coulee on her All-Star season. She did Flavor Flav.
Oh wow.
And I'll just tell you, she won her Snatch Game, but it was a very, very good Snatch Game. I think Shay's win is very deserved, but like, oh, it was such a good Snatch Game. But yeah, we're going around. We're talking about who we're doing. Georges is doing John Leguizamo. I said, get this baby off my TV right now.
I said, girl, say his name right. Say his name right.
You're going to talk about an actor that was in a movie. You're doing a character from a movie that RuPaul was in.
Right.
RuPaul was in that movie.
Yes. And you can say John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo.
Leguizamo. Girl,
he's Italian now, I guess. Leguizamo.
Baby, I screamed. The scream I screamed when she said Leguizamo. I was like, oh. Not Leguizamo, girl. And y'all supposed to be Latin kindred spirits. Y'all supposed to be together on this. You're supposed to be able to be
right.
Yes, baby, it's John Leguizamo, period. I know him, I love him. That's who it is. Yeah. It's I screamed.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Oh, it was so funny to me. But we saw that Vanjie is going to do Cleopatra, and in Vanjie kind of way, we saw Gottmik was going
Gottmik doing the dog that played Lassie.
And I was like, girl, this is going to be either so bad or so good. There is no in between with this. Like, there was no way it was going to be any in between. Either she was going to be so bad that she'd be like, oh, yeah, or it's going to be so good when you're like, yes. And knowing it was the latter. She was so good.
It was incredible. We'll talk about it. But knowing what Gottmik did on her previous season, because she did Paris Hilton for her first Snatch Game and she won. Well, that's just because she worked with Paris for years and like she knew Paris like the back of her hand. But also knowing that she did very, very well on a lot of the comedy challenges on her original season, I was intrigued to see how she would come back and do Snatch Game. And we'll talk about it, but I think it was lovely. I also love that we got a RuPaul like walk to workroom moment for everyone except for the dueling Liberaces. I was like,
great. Oh, like,
where are the Liberaces?
This is who I wanted to hear what she had to say.
I wanted RuPaul to react to be like, so I'm doing Liberace, and then the other one going, I'm also doing Liberace. Like, that's what I wanted. I was like, come on now, production. Ugh, whatever. But you're not gonna give us the satisfaction of that moment, I guess. But honestly, that's about it. And I feel like we could just dive into the Snatch Game, Lana.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Great. Beautiful. So we're going to talk about them in pairs of two, because that's how I have the photos set up. So we're going to go through Snatch Games. First up, we have Angeria as Marla Gibbs. Oh, Lord. And we have Miss Roxy Andrews as Tasha Shalid.
I screamed when she said she was doing Marla
Gibbs.
I was like, oh my God, if anybody's going to do Marla Gibbs, Angie would do it.
It's Angie, honestly. Yeah.
Because she has that charm about her, like that Southern charm thing that she got going on. Yeah. And she's so country. And Marla Gibbs, Marla's not country, but Marla is auntie. And Angie could pull off auntie. And like mama.
She gives like young auntie energy. Like
Yes.
give her 15 years and she will be the auntie. Like that's gonna be it for Angie. But
It's so good. I was like, oh my God.
Especially knowing how like not great Angie's first Snatch Game was, I was worried for her going into this.
Mm-hmm.
She shut me right up. And I was so beyond thrilled for her. This was, I think, and I'll talk about it a little bit more. I think there were 4 people here in Snatch Game that did a very exceptional job. And I think any of the 4 of them could have been in the top. And I would have said, great, fantastic, wonderful. And Angie was one of those for me. I think we're literally going to have one in every single photo that we're talking about when it comes to the Snatch Game. But just she had the mannerisms down. She had the leftovers in the giant purse. The look is not necessarily Marla Gibbs, but it feels in the Marla Gibbs universe. Mm-hmm. When she was like, we're going to go to the bedroom, we're going to get on our knees and pray.
I was like, yep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Angie. I was so happy for her to get that redemption for Snatch Game. Thrilled. Now, I have to say, Roxy has a bit of a tumultuous history with Snatch Game.
Okay.
Her first Snatch Game was very, very good, on a very good Snatch Game. She was Tamar Braxton, her first time.
Okay.
And then her second time, she did Alaska in front of Alaska while Alaska was playing the Snatch Game with her, and it was not good. So I didn't know what to expect from Roxy in the Snatch Game, and this character is a character she did on her original season. So this was a whole mess of like, Lana's not going to get any of this. So I was like, oh God, Lana's not going to understand this Tasha Shallon character at all.
I didn't get it, but I liked it. That's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't have to know exactly what it is, but the context, if you can make me go, okay, I don't know who this character is, but I kind of like her. And I understood what it was. And I got, like, they showed clips from when she did it before, and I was like, okay, so this is a callback from when she did it before, and now Tasha has had a makeover, a glow up, and Tasha's looking for love. It made sense. And I was like, I get it, got it, I like it. But it was fine, though. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just fine. It was solid.
She was the one person overall in this Snatch Game that I was like, you are solid. Fifth place for me in this Snatch Game. And a wild improvement for me from her most recent Snatch Game. I really thought Roxy did a good job. When she comes out being like, I got my new dressing on, I was like, yes, girl! I loved it. I thought it was so good. Roxy's not an improv queen. That's not what she does. But I think taking a character that she, A, made up, and B, has a lot of experience playing, I think that's just going to play to her strengths. And I did think Roxy did a very, very solid job.
Right.
Very solid. Very good.
I agree. I was like, It was good. It was solid. It was good.
Definitely.
Wasn't mad at it.
No, not mad at all. She made me laugh a little bit. I was entertained. And I'll take that from Roxy Andrews on Snatch Game. So
absolutely.
Let's talk about our other two in this first Snatch Game set. We have Chanel as Liberace Part 1 and Georges as John Leguizamo. Right. Now, I want to also point out, Lana, did you know who the Snatchlers were?
Monet Exchange was one, and I did not know who the other one was. Well, so they said Raven.
Yeah, so it's Raven, who was on season 2 and All Stars 1, and now she's been Rue's personal makeup artist for Drag Race for about 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
So she does Rue's face that you see every episode.
Okay, word.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Raven. I'll go ahead and say that. But I loved seeing Monet Exchange here. I was like, oh, they didn't announce who the Snatchlers were going to be. I wonder I wonder who the Snatchlers are. And then it was like a Pisces from Brooklyn whose favorite queens are Trinity the Tuck and Jinx Monsoon. And then he walked out and I was like, it's Monet! I thought it was going to be Monet and Bob for a second. I was like, oh, that would have been really fun. But I think Bob was already on tour with Madonna.
Okay.
At the time that this was filmed. So, but I loved seeing Monet here. I thought Monet did a great job. I also think Chanel did a phenomenal job for having never done Snatch Game before on either of her previous seasons.
Yes.
I think she embodied the character. I thought she was funny. She gave a lot of theatricality to this character. I really enjoyed her Liberace.
I enjoyed her Liberace as well. I liked her outfit so much. I guess we'll talk about that and look over here. But
yeah,
I liked her. I liked her presentation of Liberace. Maybe a little bit better than I like Nina's presentation of Liberace. But I like Nina's performance of Liberace more than I like Chanel's performance of Liberace. So it was a little. Okay. I think they were both good, and I think this is perfectly great for her. And like you said, she didn't do it before, so this is very impressive. It was very impressive.
Yeah, I thought I mean, because I guess we have to compare them because they did the same character. Absolutely. I honestly think I preferred Chanel's interpretation of Liberace a little bit better. And we'll talk about Nina. I think Nina did do a great job. For me, I think Chanel's performance was a little bit more understated. There was a bit more like quick quip. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, Chanel really embodied the Liberace character. Whereas I feel like Nina just played a horny old man. If I'm being honest. Like, and was it a bad performance? No. Not at all. We'll talk about it here shortly. But I think for me, I think I preferred what Chanel did overall to Nina's. Okay. Personally. Right. And I was watching with friends. We were literally split 3-3 between Nina and Chanel. So it was very fun. And then Georges was there.
Yes. Georges was there. I did not like this character. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And I was like, I felt like the only reason this character was because Monet knew her, who she was. And picked her. Monet
picked her to cause chaos. That's all it was. Like, there was no other reason behind it. Yeah, it was not good.
No.
Good
about it. Like,
I didn't expect it to be good based on the fact that she didn't even know the man's name.
True.
And I'm honestly really surprised we've never seen someone do John Leguizamo as Chi-Chi from Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Like, I'm really surprised that no one has gone that direction. And I think there is...
Anybody from Tu Wong Fu?
No.
Wow, that's shocking.
It is. I think a lot of people are maybe afraid to do it because Rue is in it.
Right.
And so I feel like Rue knows the movie very well. I was confused by the whole performance, and then I left watching this performance just with a question of whether Georges had ever seen Tu Wong Fu. I don't know if she's seen the movie, honestly. Because I was just... And for someone who had a not great first Snatch Game performance, I honestly think this was worse.
Oh. Well, yeah.
And she wasn't the only one that had a worse Snatch Game performance on this time as opposed to their first time.
Oh. Well,
but, yeah, Georges was there. The look... I don't want to talk about the look right now. Ugh.
You don't have to.
I'm not going to, because we're going to move to our second batch of Snatch Game of Love, this time featuring Raven. Not in dark mode today, so I was happy to see it, though, questionable. On screen, we've got Vanjie as Cleopatra and Nina as Liberace the sequel, Electric Boogaloo. Now, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, Vanjie flopped. I'm just gonna say it.
Vanjie flopped, girl.
I was very surprised by that. Like,
I wasn't.
Oh,
I really wasn't. There is so much you can do with Cleopatra. I thought the Cleopatra idea was so smart.
Yes.
And I have to say, I think a lot of her physical comedy in this was very good. Vanjie is very good with physical comedy. Like, coming out wrapped in the carpet.
Yeah.
Because that's how Cleopatra was presented to Mark Antony. I think that was a really smart idea. I think creating Cleopatra from the hood was a very good idea. I just don't think she knew what to do after her one. She's on her pyramid. That joke was funny. That was a funny joke. That was the only time I laughed at Vanjie.
Yeah.
Because she kind of just, she went deer in headlights and didn't know what to do. I don't think she did great on her original Snatch Game either. Because she did the Cash Me Outside girl on season 11. And so, like, I don't think this was not great. But for me, it would have been 6th. Because I think, like, the other two were just worse.
I mean, absolutely. I think it was, it just, it just wasn't that good. And, unfortunately, it is what it is. It's just like, well, it wasn't that great. But moving on to Nina, I felt like
let's talk about Nina.
Yeah, I do agree with you, the horny old man part of it, but I thought it was so funny, and I feel like that's what Liberace would have been as he got older, just turning into that horny old man. I mean, he was a horny old man. Let's just be real.
Yes,
but I feel like he was her character was the horny old man amped up 10 times because now he's on the TV show, on a dating show, trying to get picked. So he amped up the horny old man of it all. But I thought it was funny. I laughed a lot. She interacted a lot with everybody on stage, and that made it so much funnier for me. She tried to help out poor Plastique, and it just was like she kind of just stole a thunder right from Plastique at one point. I was just like, woo. I just thought it was really good. I think I enjoyed her performance a lot.
Nina did great. Like there really is nothing else about it. Like Nina did great. Right. I think for me, I think it was a very strong Snatch Game performance. I think if you're factoring in challenge performance and runway, I don't know that she would have been in my top 2. For me, I think what she did was good. Her comedic timing is good. That's what Nina does. This is Nina's bread and butter kind of stuff. Absolutely. I did feel like her jokes at a certain point got a little one note. And I could say that about Chanel's as well, honestly, when I think about it more. But to be fair, I don't think I would have had either of the Liberaces in the top 2. Okay. So, yeah, I think Nina did a great job. A great job overall. So. And then we got to move to maybe the wildest dichotomy of people to discuss currently. We have Plastique allegedly performing as Ali Wong. And we have Gottmik as Pal, the dog that played Lassie.
Yeah. Ali Wong, dear friend of yours, Plastique, is going to be like, ooh, girl.
Ali wrong. And she's been a guest judge on Drag Race, so that's why everyone was like, girl, you know she's going to see this.
Yes. Absolutely. But it wasn't good. But Gottmik, ate this down. She ate this
up.
I was like, she left no crumbs on the table for any of you. Like, she was just like her mannerisms like an old Hollywood starlet with a cigarette, but a dog, and was just like doing dog mannerisms too. Like, it was
woof. Oh, it was
like,
so good.
Woof. That old Yeller, I'm looking at him.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite joke was, you know who's really getting my hind legs shaking is that old Yeller fellow. Oh, it was so. Oh my goodness, Gottmik.
She ate that up. I was like, girl.
I remember now why I fell in love with Gottmik as a drag queen the first time I watched her on Drag Race. Like, I'm remembering again why I love Gottmik so much.
Yeah,
and this is why, because beyond, like, she can kind of do everything.
Yep.
She looks amazing. Her fashion is incredible. And she's so fucking funny.
This makeup was everything.
It's impeccable.
It was incredible. I was like, girl, you are eating. You are eating. Period. Ugh. Love
it. And she's from Arizona, so I'm always a little bit like, ooh, yay. Yes. No, I think what she did in the Snatch Game was absolutely fucking incredible, without a shadow of a doubt. Like,
phenomenal.
Girl. But we get a little bit of stuff in the Werk Room in between Snatch Game and the runway, and it's mostly talking about alliances, whether Nina and Chanel are in an alliance. Chanel thinks she might be in an alliance with Nina, and Nina doesn't really, she's not playing that game this season.
What game are we playing then, Nina? What game are we playing?
I know. Checkers? I don't know. I don't know, girl. I don't remember hearing this, but do you remember that part in the preview from last week for this episode where it was that clip of Angie saying, well, everyone can throw shade, but when it's Angie throwing shade.
Yes.
Like, I don't remember that in this episode.
I don't either. Maybe
I was like,
I don't remember.
Or maybe it happened in this segment and I don't remember. Let us know, because I don't remember hearing it. But I was like, that's strange, because I thought about, I thought about that and I was like, I don't remember her saying, I don't know. But it's basically just like, all right, who are we going to block? And then we find out earlier in the episode that the winners of the Snatch Game are going to each get 2 beautiful benefactress badges. 1 to keep, unless you're Angie, and 1 to give away.
And you could be Angie.
And it could be Angie. I don't think it's gonna be Angie. I don't think anyone's gonna give it to Angie. Yeah. Especially given who wins, I'm like, I don't think anyone's gonna give it to Angie. But we hear a lot of strategy talk about that, and we get Roxy Andrews, the mathematician. She was like, I'm a mathematician. Killed me. I loved it. But she was just like, well, you could give your beautiful benefactress badge to a girl that already has a badge and make her a target instead of you. And I think that is absolutely 100% a valid strategy that you should not have said out loud to everybody.
Yeah.
Because if Roxy had just told Mick that,
yep,
like, that would have been a cute little social strategy race kind of moment, being like, well, girl, like, don't go telling everyone this, but, like, you could give your second badge to someone that already has a badge, because if you win, you're going to have 2 badges.
You need somebody to have 2 badges with you.
Exactly. I love that Roxy is so smart. Because Roxy would be me. I'd be like, well, you could give it to someone. Like, you could make somebody else a target, or you could even the playing field a little bit more and like put one girl with 0 badges. Which I think is a likely possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see, and we can talk about it at the end of this, but we can, I'm intrigued to see who they're going to give their badges to.
Right.
I have some ideas, but with that being said, we're going to very quickly go to the runway. With our gorgeous guest judge, Anitta. But for Snatch Game, though.
Yeah, I thought it should have been a comedian.
Like, and it sometimes is. And it's like, I would have loved to see Stephanie Shu for this week. Like, not that she's a comedian, but like.
I think they should have switched it. Like, have Kiki this week and Anitta last week.
Have Anitta as the. Well.
I know they were trying to do something big for premiere.
Yeah, night, and I don't, I think Anitta is the kind of person that could pull a big, like, and premiere guest judge, Anitta. I don't feel like a lot of people in the US specifically, unfortunately, know about Anitta in the way that she should be, because she is a gorgeous, talented woman.
Yes.
I hope she makes an appearance on Drag Race Brazil, because I think that would be gorge.
That'd be cute.
But yeah, I thought she was, I was like, I don't know what to expect from her as a guest judge. I thought she was a very thoughtful, very lovely guest judge.
Yeah, she was awesome. I enjoyed her. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. She's beautiful. This outfit is everything. She was very, like I said, thoughtful and had some good comebacks and quips and things. I liked her.
Yeah, I hate this RuPaul dress.
I hate it too. I was like, RuPaul looks like a candy wrapper. It just looks like. Remember when David was talking about the grandma's drawer full of Christmas candy? Ru picked out a piece of Christmas candy and wrapped a wrapper around her. It's wrinkly. It's crunchy. It's loud. It's the colors are ugly. It's just. Nothing about this is good, except the hair. I love her wig.
The wig is wigging.
The wig is wigging, but everything else, from the neck down, I don't like it.
No, ma'am.
Right, she got showed up by Miss Anitta.
Absolutely.
She looks stunning.
I think Michelle looks gorgeous as well.
Fine. She looks good. Carson looks
good. The cute little hip cutout.
Right, Michelle and Carson got the pink memo, which is cute, and then the guest judge just looks like a done supermodel, stunning, with her skin glistening and all of that. Like her skin is glowing on the stage.
So good,
glowing, so good,
so good.
But that's the melanin, baby.
Come on,
come on, melanin.
Her.
But we'll quickly go through this. Ooh,
yes.
You did that. You ate that.
Thank you. I know. Category is a tail and 2 titties.
Baby, I said, they really want to get us demonetized this week. They are trying.
When I tell you.
I know you did. I know you had to go through some coverage and something.
Actually, I only had to do one.
Yeah, it was just one. I thought I was like, just one.
And part of it I can justify under monetization stuff on YouTube, so it's fine. We'll get there at the very end. But yeah, the category is a tail and 2 titties. We're gonna do our phrase association. For each of these looks. As y'all know, we are doing our full thoughts about all of these looks on here, which will be out the day after this video drops, so make sure to check that out as well. We'll be talking about the looks a little bit more in depth, but we're going to do a little bit of phrase association regarding these looks, and first up is Angie. Great, but girl. I'll talk about what I mean by that later.
Oh, please.
Roxy Andrews.
Cartoon.
She's hunting wabbits. Wabbits.
Wow.
Chanel.
Surprising.
Different but loved. Gorgeous.
Adorable.
Girl.
We have different opinions on everything.
Miss Vanessa.
Girl.
Gag City Scorpion. Nina West.
Yeah.
Concept 10. Execution 4. Plastique Tiara.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. But the boots, girl!
Still beautiful.
I get it, but it's still beautiful. Still beautiful. And last up, got back.
Yes, mama. Or yes, Poppy.
Oh. Revolutionary. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time talking about this look in Look Over Here for sure. I'm very, very excited to speak on it. But overall, I would say a solid runway.
Yeah.
A solid runway, a lovely runway, a different runway concept, and I liked that a lot. So, yes. So, we get our critiques. We do our things. I didn't watch Untucked this week.
Me either.
So I don't know if anything. Here's what I hope happened in Untucked. I hope that Chanel got very angry because she realized she wasn't going to win this week. But she thought she was going to win this week, and then as soon as critiques went down, and they were like, "Oh my God, Nina, your Liberace is beautiful." I hope Chanel's angry in her feelings. I hope Anitta comes back and we get to see more of her. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could be right.
That sounds like it could be right, and I'm excited to go watch it. This probably right after we do this video.
But we can watch it and then talk about it later, a little bit next week.
If there's anything to talk about. The last two Untucked have both kind of been just like, right. But we get our results. We find out that our top 2 queens of the week are Nina and Gottmik.
Good on them.
I think deserved. Like I said, I think for me there were 4 people that did very, very well in this Snatch game. For me, I think I would have had a different top 2.
I think so too. I think I probably would have had Gottmik and Angie.
I agree. I agree. I really think
between Snatch Game and Runway.
Between Snatch Game and Runway, I think it was very, very close. I also could see a universe, honestly, where my top 2 would have been Gottmik and Chanel. Because I do really think Chanel's look was very, very good. I think the performance was very, very good. But it was really back and forth between those 3. And I think, honestly, I don't think they were ever going to consider giving it to Angie because she was blocked.
Right.
In this scenario, I think if it wasn't a double beautiful but effective bitch kind of week, I think Angie could have gotten the win. I think that would have been a gorgeous redemption for her as well from her previous Snatch Game, which was not all that great. I'm not mad at Nina winning this because I think Nina did perform very, very well. Gottmik was the obvious number one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Obvious.
And then we got this lip sync. And this was another reason. On behalf of this show, on behalf of these producers, and on behalf of Nina West, not Gottmik, but just Nina West, I would like to issue a formal apology to Anitta. I'm so sorry, Diva, that your first experience on Drag Race had to be viewing that. And that they couldn't get any other better queen in the top for this challenge, or had Anitta on a different week and had girls that can actually give a good lip sync to a very, very fabulous song. I almost said another word. I'm not going to do that in this occasion. Because they lip sync to Banana, which is a gorgeous Anitta song.
It's a great song.
This could not have been a more disparate lip sync for me. This is the clearest lip sync win for me, maybe of all time.
I guess I was watching a whole new lip sync because I don't agree with that. I don't. I thought that each queen performed the way they performed, and each queen gave a performance that was very much them. And I don't expect Nina West to get out there and be dipping and twerking and clicking and falling and skipping and doing all those tricks. I don't agree. Let me finish. I don't.
No, of course.
I don't ever expect her to do that. This is a 44-year-old woman, a 44-year-old person who is out there performing a drag performance, and she's a comedy acting, like old school, very old school type of performance. So, and this song is very new school with the banana, all that, like very new school kind of song. What Nina gave us was a old school performance to a new school song. And this is what I expect. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Nina give it. She did her brand of tricks. Her brand of tricks is the reveals. I'm going to take this off. 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 But she knew the song and she performed the song. And Gottmik is somebody else who performed this. Like, she is a more newer school kind of girl. So she can do that. Clackety, clack, pop, 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 on the floor, giving very sensual what the song asks for. And I appreciate it for her too. That I guess my thing is, I never want a queen to feel like they have to do something that they're not. Be who you are. And I thought Nina gave a performance that was best for Nina, and I enjoyed it. It was funny. She had, the whole thing, the reel was funny to me. She sang the song, she performed the song, and I thought she did good. I thought it was good. Me personally, I liked it better than Gottmik. Me personally, I liked it better because I thought she performed it for her. She performed it how she would perform it. And I respect that. I don't want you to go out there and be somebody you are not, because if she would have got out there and tried to do kicks and twists and flips and dips, and she was missing choreo and her choreo was crunchy and it was all bad, then we would talk about how bad it was, how bad she looked out there. Why would she get out there and do that? Why would she get out there and do that, try to do those duck walks when she can't even get down on her knees like that? Like, it would, if she tried to give us sexy, sensual, it would be weird. And we'd be like, oh, that's we don't like that. She gave us Nina, and I can respect that. So I wasn't mad at it. I thought it was good. I was entertained. It was very vaudeville. It was very variety show. And I enjoyed it because that's, like you said, that's Nina's bread and butter. Nina gave us her bread and butter. Gottmik gave us what she gives. So I didn't think the performance was clear-sided one way. I didn't think that. I thought they both gave what they both gave, and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Now, I'm not out here trying to say that I want Nina to come out here doing a dip. That's not what I'm trying to say. I do agree with you. I think both of them gave a performance that was the kind of performance that they would give.
Mm-hmm.
Nina's was sloppy performance. She couldn't get most of her reveals off. She struggled with most of her reveals. That's not a polished performance. That's not the performance that we know Nina to do. I think her actual lip syncing for me, I think was fine, but it was dramatically overshadowed by the fact that I could not understand. Like, I was distracted by the fact that she just could not get these reveals off. She spent 5 whole seconds trying to get a reveal off. And that's, for me personally, that's just a sloppy performance. And I didn't think that her performance was good.
I don't think it was super sloppy. I think, yeah, she struggled a couple, but like, it wasn't like she was struggling for every reveal. I don't think every reveal was sloppy. Some of her reveals
not every one of them was. Not every one of them was.
I can give the benefit of the doubt. Like, if everyone was like, oh, then I'm like, girl, you ain't.
It was a good number of them.
It was
a good number of them. I'm not saying it was a majority. Right. It was a good number. It was a good number of them. But I also want to say that the buildup of this lip sync dress thing that we've seen now from Nina for 3 weeks, it was such a disappointment. And I was just like, oh, we waited 3 weeks and we saw you in this lip sync dress for you to present that. It's like, this feels like, and we kind of saw that from Nina. She wore this every single week, which means she would have done this exact same thing for every single one of these lip syncs that she has done so far. I don't feel like she adapted what she can to the song she was presented. I think Gottmik adapted her performance style to this song. I don't feel like Nina did this. I feel like Nina would have done this exact same routine to all 3 of the lip sync songs we've seen so far. And I don't want to see that. I want to see a queen take a challenge of a song that maybe is not in her repertoire. I don't think this is in Gottmik's repertoire either, honestly. I don't think Gottmik is going to be out there performing Banana by Anitta. That's not, the energy that I feel like she's giving. But she took the song, she adapted the lip syncing that she does, and I think she did it in a very, very good way. I think it was very low key. I think it was obviously very sensual. I loved seeing it. I was living for Gottmik the entire time. And I just didn't think what Nina did was adapted to this song in any way, shape, or form. So for me, that's why I'm saying that I feel like Gottmik by far had the stronger performance for me.
I mean, I feel like Gottmik performed well. I think Nina made it more interesting for me because it was like, I wanted to see what these reveals were. And the fact that she wore this thing the same, until she got to perform, I wasn't like, oh, that's such a letdown. I was like, oh, we finally get to see what it is. I don't think her build-up, like, that's everybody else's problem if y'all got to the point where it was like, oh, this build-up. She wasn't trying to build up. She was just like, I just wasn't in the spot to have to take it off. So, and then to get disappointed by what was underneath, she ain't never came out there. It's gonna be something spectacular underneath there. It's just, that was a build up that we put up in our own heads, and so the fact that people are up or other people might be let down by what was revealed, it's like, well, that's your fault. Nobody told you to get that built up in your head like that. That's on you.
I just think it's a combination of that and just the fact that I think the performance was sloppy. That's really all it was.
I mean, yeah, that's fine too. Like I said, everybody has the right to feel how they feel about it.
It's so refreshing for us to argue, isn't it?
It is. I feel like Nina gave because we don't do that often.
We really don't.
But no. I think Nina gave the performance that Nina wanted to give. And I do agree with you, though. I do agree that she probably would have done that to any song until she do it. But now that she's done it, we'll see what she has next because she can't do that again. She can't come out and give us the same reveal thing. So I'm like, okay, fine. Lip syncing ain't something that she kind of like. It's her thing.
That's not her thing.
So it's like I don't. That's my whole point. I don't expect Nina to come out and do what is not her all the time. Now,
and I'm not saying she needs to either.
She has to lip sync. I understand for the show, but she still has to be herself. And I feel like she gave us Nina, and I appreciated it for what it was. But
no,
did
totally.
I think Milk did a good job? Absolutely. She ate it down.
Not
and I
Milk.
I said Mick. Does that mean
no, you said Got Milk twice now.
I probably said Got Milk. I probably did say Got Milk, probably. But
not Got Milk.
I mean, but I think she would love it because come on, your name was Got Mick. Somebody gonna call you Got Milk. Anyway, Got Mick.
They did on her first season.
But Got Mick actually did really good, and I did enjoy her performance. But she adapted. Yeah.
To close this discussion, I feel very similarly about Nina in this lip sync that I did with Jorgeous week 1 in the first lip sync to Whitney Houston, because I feel like Jorgeous didn't adapt the way that she performs to this Whitney song in the way that I feel like Angie did. And for me, I want to, specifically when I'm looking at a lip sync for your life or your legacy or for charity or whatever it is on Drag Race, I want to see a girl take the song that she's presented with and adapt it to her style. That's what I really look for in it. And obviously, like, if a song calls for stunts and flips and dips, great, I love it. I'm going to be entertained almost every time. But it doesn't always have to be that. And I think we've now seen 3 lip syncs in a row where it's not about the splits and the dips and the kicks, and it's not that. And I'm finding that very refreshing for this season. Yeah. But I feel a little similarly, like in this case with Nina, that I did with Jorgeous.
Yeah, I think this song actually could have been the dips and the kicks, and this song would have been more of.
If it was anyone other than Nina and Gottmik.
Yeah, it would have been like if Jorgeous was on this, she would have ate this up.
I would have killed to see this lip sync between Jorgeous and Vanjie. Like, I think that would have, or even Roxy. I feel like Roxy would have given a gorgeous, lovely performance of this. I think Plastique could have given a great, and I was just like, it's just a little bit of a letdown that the 2 whitest queens on this cast were given such a gorgeous song to lip sync to. And I was just like, damn. Well, all right. But,
yeah.
Gottmik does win the lip sync. I would agree personally. I
agree. I enjoyed Nina.
Yeah.
Though.
She has Mick has now also made Drag Race history.
Ooh.
She is the only queen to win both the ball and Snatch Game on both of her seasons.
Good on her. Yay.
Because there's a lot of queens that have won 2 ball challenges and a lot of queens that have won 2 Snatch Game challenges.
But not
both. I think the closest person to that record is Trinity the Tuck. Because I don't think she did not win her first Snatch Game, but she's won 2 balls and a Snatch Game. So it's she's very, very close to that. But yes, so Gottmik wins again.
Word.
She's now up to $20,000 for Trans Lifeline. And I also just fucking love, I know we didn't fully talk about her look in this episode, because that's not what we're here to do in this one. But the fact that she won this lip sync, got more money for Trans Lifeline in this top surgery look was just like so incredible for me.
Yeah.
I was so happy for her.
Absolutely.
Dare I say Gottmik is my front runner?
Ooh.
And dare I say I kind of regret not drafting Gottmik?
Ooh.
Because I had a choice.
Ooh.
I had a choice between Chanel and Gottmik, and I did not pick Gottmik.
Ooh.
And maybe I should have picked Gottmik.
Maybe.
Honestly. I love Chanel dearly, and I love my draft team, and I'm so happy that I have Angie and Chanel, but
I mean,
you know.
I feel like this is a good segue into our draft.
Well, we got to talk about who was cut off, Lana.
Oh, well, that's true. I forgot.
We didn't do that. Yes. So Gottmik wins. We'll get to the draft in a second. I do agree. I love the segue.
I love the segue, but you know.
Love the segue, but we got to talk about how Gottmik cuts off Jorgeous.
Yeah.
I get it.
I get it. She got a badge already.
She said she was going to cut off another person with a badge, so it was either going to be Jorgeous or Plastique.
Yep.
And I think, given the challenges that are coming up, I think Jorgeous was probably a smart choice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not necessarily next week's challenge, but yes, Jorgeous is cut off for next week. We see the preview for next week, and we find out that it is an episode 4 makeover. I think this is the earliest they have ever done a makeover challenge. And not only is it a makeover, it is a partnered makeover challenge.
Ooh.
They're making over hot firefighters. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I love it. I was like, oh, Jesus. Makeover challenge. Okay. Yes. All right. The only pairing I remember offhand is Roxy and Vanjie. And I honestly think that's a winning combination.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
I think they are both going to get their win here. I think Vanjie is going to get her first challenge win ever.
Okay.
I would like to see it. But I do, before we get to the draft update, I do want to ask you, Lana, who do you think Mick and Nina are going to give their beautiful benefactors badges to next week?
If Mick goes with the advice that Roxy gave her, I feel like she gives it to either Plastique or Angie. Probably Plastique because it's like, I don't know if she is going to win anymore. Or unless she wants to make Angie a threat, then she'll give it to Angie. If she don't want to make Plastique a threat, she'll give it to Angie.
Right.
Which I could see. But if she doesn't, if she just wants to give it to somebody who has no badges, she probably gives it to Roxy. I feel like her and Roxy are close enough to give her a badge to. Nina, I feel like if she probably gives it to Chanel.
Okay.
The Liberace's unite,
potentially, yeah.
Potentially, yeah. So that's what I think.
Okay. I don't think either of them are going to play into the strategy, if I'm being honest. Okay. I think the obvious choice, I think Mick is going to give it to Vanjie.
Okay.
Because they're so close right now, I think Mick is going to throw Vanjie. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think Mick is going to throw Vanjie a bone in that scenario, get her up to a badge. As far as Nina, I would say Chanel, but I'm not sure because I don't know that she wants everyone to think that there's an alliance between her and Chanel. Mm-hmm. So I actually think Nina could potentially give it to Roxy. Or I think Nina could give it to someone else, like a Plastique, and boost her up and make her a target. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
We will see next week. But yes, now we have a draft update. Things are a little bit different in our draft. Brooke is currently sitting in 4th with 13.5 points. Kamorian is currently in 3rd with 16 points. I have now moved into 2nd by myself with 17 points, and David is currently leading the draft with 20 points.
Okay.
I wonder why.
Got me.
He literally has Mick and Nina.
Ooh. Well, there we go.
So he just got a big old 10-point boost this episode.
Look, that's my
9-point boost or whatever. But yes, good for you, gal.
His win is my win.
Per. But that is that for our episode recap of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 9, episode 3.
Also, real quick, I want to give you a surprise before we sign off.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're going to love it. Because as we were talking and as we were going through this show, I was doing some things and got this.
Yay!
And it's on the back, it has where we put the real entity and reality on it. So the fanny pack is now on the Etsy shop at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com.
Yes! I love it. I was like, she is really on her iPad this whole damn episode. Damn. No, yes! I'm so excited.
Look, just at the beginning, I was done very quickly.
So excited. All right. Well, in that case, speaking of the cup fanny pack, make sure to go get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug or cup fanny pack, at LanaGCreations.etsy.com. That link is down in the description below. while you are down in the description below, you could also go check out all of our YouTube channels, our audio podcast links, and our membership channel links, as well as where you can find us on social media at the Cup Pod, everywhere you want to look. You could also follow me and Lana if you really want to. I usually end that with cup merch, but I already said it. So in that case, we're going to get out of here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.